Hi, my name is Colin Angevine. I work as an independent consultant, facilitator, and researcher, and in this 5-minute coffee talk, I'll present a case study from a collaborative project in K-12 education in the United States and hope to start a discussion. For clarity, I'll begin with a preview of the discussion prompts, then get into the case study with an overview and a few snapshots of diverse participant perspectives, and then with this context in place, revisit the discussion prompts. So first, the prompts. How do collaborative design projects prioritize the true end user? How do pluriversal designers navigate power dynamics in interdependent systems? And in what ways are compulsory public systems, like K-12 education, fundamentally projects of what Arturo Escobar calls a one-world ontology? And how might we successfully decolonize design within such boundaries? The case study that I'm going to introduce here began with some research with leaders of public school districts in the United States to understand what were the most common challenges that they were facing. You can take a look at some of the results of this research at the URL provided. Following this research, a team of educators, researchers, and developers from across the country worked together for 18 months on one problem of practice that emerged in order to better define it, research it, prototype, and test potential solutions to address this challenge. What was the challenge? It centered on this idea of real-world learning. As a challenge statement, the team articulated that as, how might we integrate authentic, life-relevant opportunities into school learning experiences, with the goal of creating learning opportunities at the points where high school students and community partners meet. For example, internships, mentorships, guest speakers. To fast forward to the end, this team created 2 different tools and a handful of resources. A builder for administrators, for school administrators to create strategic frameworks for real-world learning, a roadmap for teachers that provided turn-by-turn guidance on how to implement real-world learning experiences, and a suite of supporting resources beyond that. But the exciting work and the real questions here happened in the messy collaboration that led to these outputs. So let's take a closer look. To start, looking at what it means to connect students and local partners. In facilitating these kinds of connections, teachers have plenty of questions. Who should I bring into my classroom? How do I prepare students and families? What does that community partner need to know in order to collaborate successfully? And from the community partner perspective, they have questions that begin with, how do I even communicate effectively with teenagers? But the questions here of how do classrooms and community partners create meaningful learning experiences together happen in a culture and a broader context that includes lots of different constituencies. The school buildings where these activities would take place, the school districts that have policies and procedures that support or don't support these things, the families and the communities surrounding all of this. And for each of these constituencies, there are different priorities and different challenges, all in the mix. So students are prioritizing challenges around the fact that their classes aren't relevant or engaging, meeting their needs. Parents are prioritizing learning outcomes. Teachers have a million other responsibilities and so would need professional support to implement something new like real-world learning. Administrators are accountable for safety and state testing, and community partners might be interested, but already have other things taking up their time and would need meaningful support. So among these different priorities and needs, how is it that collaborative design projects can prioritize the true end user? And in doing that prioritizing, how do pluriversal designers navigate the power dynamics that emerge? And then finally, given that this is all happening within an interdependent system like K-12 education, to what degree is that fundamentally a project of a one-world ontology? And what would it mean to decolonize design within such a framework? This is a quick snapshot and just one example, but hopefully it will ground us in something concrete as we explore these questions together. I look forward to the conversation. Thanks.